Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
Didn't you work as a barista for a little
I
bit?
did for a
he
long
was
time.
at
That's how I,
Pete's Games,
yeah, I was at Pete's
Yeah.
and Whole Foods and Alfred Coffee as a barista.
Oh, dude, so you get it.
Yeah.
It's like
fucking-
when it's
Yeah, dude.
on a busy
I mean,
Sunday when everybody's in there and they're like, I want my latte ice.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, dude, that's why I started carrying a knife. The Sunday morning
Nah.
customers.
It's not for the tweakers. It's the Sunday morning customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
the tweakers, they're I would say that they're a known value in some sense. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like we
Okay.
know that we're not friends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I know you're only going to get so close to me physically,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But the angry coffee people, they're going to get right up in you because you don't know that they are out for blood until they're in, they're in stabbing distance for themselves.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I feel like with tweakers, it's like when two animals in the wild that aren't the same species see each other.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
cougar and
Yeah.
like a bunny arrive at like a watering hole, and they're like, "Listen, we all have to be here.
Yep.
We're in the desert. But as soon as we're out of here, it's over.
Yeah.
We'll go
Whereas
our
for
separate
now,
ways.
We're gonna be all right. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
like a Sunday morning coffee customer just like is the gorilla that just falls into the water like out of nowhere. It just ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, and then poops
Guys,
it.
Just
Throws
the
poop
son of a
at you
bitch that
as you
shows up.
leave.
Yeah.
yeah. And then the tweakers looking at them and it's like, well, I don't know what his
I don't know
this
that. Yeah,
fucking
that guy's
guy. No
weird.
decency.
Yeah.
No sense for the commonality of
Yeah.
our existence.
Especially
I
like-
took my biggest L this week from a tweaker ever.
Really?
Probably ever in my life.
Mhm.
He came in twice, so I'm pretty sure he's kind of a regular now. And
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of worried that I'm going to continue to see him.
And that's severe. Mhm.
That's severe.
That's what keeps you up at night. Yeah.
Yeah, he came in and he's like, I don't know, he's just bothering customers. And I go out there and I go to kick him out because we have like this outdoor patio.
Mhm.
And I go out there to kick him out and he immediately starts lighting into me. But he was like really good at roasting.
Oh,
Like
no.
surprisingly good. Yeah. And he was like getting to the core of it.
Mhm.
And he was
This
making
thin-necked motherfucker or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know.
Well,
He
God,
was
he's
like-
a high-waisted jeans ass wearing motherfucker. He's like, God damn.
he started screaming at me. He's like, you stupid power bottom. Nobody even watches your porn. I was like, what? Nobody
man.
watches my porn. He knew how to really cut to the core
Wow.
of somebody in Los Angeles. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get at you where it's going to hurt the
Immediately.
most, which is views on your streams. You're not getting enough of them.
Yeah, your Twitch has got two people watching. One's your grandma,
Yeah.
and she doesn't even know what you're doing. She just leaves it on to
Was
help
he
you
out
out.
there? Was he out there just roasting other customers, or was he being nice to them, or what was it?
I think he was trying to ask for, I think he was just trying to ask for money. But when I got out there, he was like, I'm fundraising. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know what you're fundraising for. I'm sorry, but you can't do that
I
here.
have to kick you out. Like this
Yeah.
is, this isn't. You see, if I don't kick you out, someone's gonna come yelling to me to go do it. Whether it's a
Right,
customer
exactly.
or fucking the dumbass boss who watches the cameras or some shit. Like I'm chained here too. Okay,
Right. It's
We all
like,
have a
dude,
role
we're
to
in
play.
this together.
This is mine, and I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. And so he starts getting mad at me and he's yelling at me. And I'm like, all right, I'm sorry, but you gotta go. You gotta go. And then this was the thing that hurt the most. He started coming at me about my job. He was like, whatever, go make me a coffee, you barista. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
First, you come after my OnlyFans that isn't doing very well.
Yeah.
And then you tell me that the thing that I'm doing to try to make the OnlyFans get off the ground isn't going well.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's tough.
It sucks. I mean, and all for a guy that's trying to fundraise for a pair of pants he hasn't shit in yet.
Oh no.
He was wearing a wetsuit too.
He's wearing a wet.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did he come from? It was like
I
another.
don't know, man.
He came from a different part of the multiverse where the bums are
Yeah.
underwater as well.
Yeah, it's sort of an Aquaman situation.
Yeah.
Well, we
Like,
should intro
man,
the
that hurt.
podcast, I guess. Welcome to Fuck This Place, a podcast about jobs. with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, another fantastic guest. He's a comic, he's an actor, he's an all-around good guy, just a buddy of mine for a good while now, Mr. Colin Coughlin. Colin, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, we're all burnt out. And
Yeah.
We're all tired.
we're very tired people today.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's 70% of this podcast is I'm tired of insert value here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm
glad you guys are saying that, because I was like, I told Nick, I was like, I think I'm gonna get out at like 2:30. I ended up staying late, and I'm like,
of course.
oh God, I'm fucking fried.
Yeah.
Oh, can I curse on this, by the
It's
way?
called Fuck This Place, so I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
This is
Dumb
not
question.
this.
My bad.
This podcast is not called This Place Has Redeemable Values, and we will find them. Although that might be better for our Google search.
Yeah.
Because we do have to spell "fuck this place" FCK, because you can't say a potty word in. And I feel like F*K feels like I
Now
don't
people
know.
are just saying it in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm not
so-
saying
For the
fork
things-
this place. I'm not going a good place
Yeah,
on this fucking
like
thing.
for the things
Right.
that you can find on the internet, you can see the cartel cut a guy's head off. I can't say fuck this place
on the
Right.
title.
But you know
can
what?
in the description.
None of
Go ahead.
them said fuck the entire time.
I guess that is true.
That's true.
I guess
Oh,
that
really?
is true.
That's
That's actually why they were killing that guy, because
Right.
he was listening to
He
a
said
podcast.
I can't believe you listen to fucking guys on Zoom. So Colin, I think we're gonna go straight into our first segment that we do on every podcast. It's a segment that we actually call "Fuck This Place?" ? Where we decide if it would work somewhere or not.
Okay.
And you're from upstate New York area, is that correct?
Yeah, the Hudson Valley area.
Hudson
so
Valley,
like an
yeah.
hour and 20 north of New York City.
Got it. And I do appreciate that. Like I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
To convey its partial ruralness. I appreciate when people stop naming towns. They just,
Yeah.
let's name a whole river feature
Yeah.
because everything outside of Asheville, people are like, oh, I'm from Polk County, and you're like, yeah, it's out there, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm, we're around, so come shouting and you'll find us. Anyway, we've pulled up Craigslist posts from the Hudson Valley Craigslist. No surprise, it's
Love
not
it.
specific. And so I've got three posts here. I'm going to read the title to all three. You're going to pick one that's like an automatic, like, fuck this place, no way, I'm not even going to look at it. And then we're going to look at the two and decide if it would work there or not. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Okay, so title number one is In Need of a Sparring Partner. Title number two, Musical Director and Transposer.
Okay.
And title number three is Part-Time Horse Farm Night Watch.
Oh God. That's
three
tough.
different things I don't understand. So which one is like, if you're scrolling through Craigslist, which one like you don't even want to bother reading? The sparring partner, the musical director, or the horse farm thing?
Oh man. I think I'm gonna go with horse farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not qualified.
Yeah. Yeah, not qualified.
Just
I
guessing.
figure just off of a hunch. It's at night. It's probably going to be very lonely.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
yeah.
it does say night farm horse watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
probably
yeah.
some sort of espionage team involving a horse. Just like-
Yeah, there's too many laser sights,
Mhm.
in this,
Yeah,
and you got
yeah.
to deal with the wind factor. Maybe you're sniping horses. That
Could
doesn't
be.
sound good.
Oh God.
You're just
I
like,
don't wanna
I'd
do
rather
that."
get punched in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
During
like
the
that I-
day.
that
During
I
the
know
day.
I can-
Yeah.
I know my resume matches with that one.
I can get punched in the face, no problem. Okay, so we'll say no to that, and we'll just jump straight into post number one, which is going to be, hold on a second, musical director and transposer.
Okay.
There's no pictures to this post, so the text begins, and it says, "New musical coming this fall in Carmel, New York."
Carmel. Yeah.
Carmel, yeah. Event runs September 9th to October 31st, 2022. They really got this locked in.
All right.
So maybe they've got a venue. I don't know. It says, I'm seeking a musical director who can, and then there's a list of 5 things. Number 1, transpose the lyrics onto the sheet music. I don't know. The use of the lyrics and the sheet music feels a bit clunky to me. Number 2, create orchestrations for each instruments. not instrument. Number 3, it seems like you're doing a lot here. Number 3, arrange for the music to be recorded as a mock-up. Arrange for the music to be recorded. I have a question so far about each one of these bullet points. We're going to power through and we'll double back. Number 4, see that the music is ready for each performance from September 9th to October 31st. So again, dates are nailed down. Number 5, package the music for a musical publishing company. That's the list. And then the compensation box says negotiated flat rate. And that is the post.
My first question is, what do you do?
That's
doing every job you have.
Yeah, this is like we run into this before, but totally different. Where someone's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a bassist," and you get into the thing like, "Well, I'm looking for a bassist who plays piano, who also sings, has some pretty good ideas for songs, and it didn't hurt if you're light on percussion, And it's like you need a band, and I don't know where you are in the band." Are you the lead guitar? Is that the one thing you didn't mention? Like I'm crossing things off. And I will say as a loser, I have been a part of.
Let him talk.
As a self-professed and I think sometimes actually bona fide loser, I've been in musicals that people are trying to mount before, and I can't say I had a bird's eye view of everything, but it was a very small musical, and I knew the person who was composing it, and this one person did all these 5 things. So I don't know what else there is. I guess it's the lyrics. Maybe someone wrote the lyrics, but it's like transposing it onto the sheet music. Like again, like that is I've not seen Tick Tick Boom, that goddamn Andrew Garfield, like, hey, here's how he composed Rent thing, but I guarantee you that's half of that movie. It's him writing lyrics on sheet music and being like, this song goes like this, and then maybe it doesn't, and then throwing it away and then moving on to the next thing. So I'm very confused.
I'm confused as to how they think they're going to find Lin-Manuel Miranda on Craigslist. You said the guy in the musical that you worked with could do all those things. That seems like a lot of hats to wear. Like that's
a 1,000 hats, but that's what a composer to a musical does.
Also, they're looking for this person in Carmel, New York. Now, I don't know everyone that lives in upstate New York. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, looking for a musical director and transposer on Craigslist in Carmel, New York, in that region, in that radius, might be barking up the wrong tree.
For sure. Yeah.
Cast a wider net.
You could go a little south and you would find a whole city full of nerds and losers who'd be more than happy to give this a try.
Yeah. I feel like the very next post is something a little closer to Carmel, New York, where it's just like, hey, I'm trapped in my own fishing net. Can you help me?
I also am confused by the director and again, these are two very, like a musical director is a person, like a director, there's a lot of work just all by itself. Every part of this is a lot of work by itself, including getting this guy out of his own net.
Right. Yeah.
Including finding a person in the sea or by the docks and cutting them loose from a net while they scream and struggle. Because they're not going to be nice about it. Any part of this process.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to work with any. I'm out because I don't want to work with any artists.
Yeah.
That sounds. I don't think he's an artist. I think that he thinks he's going to find an artist that then he can steal them. Steal all their hard work.
Yeah, and that's 90% of all successful art, and this is not going to be successful.
Yeah, I think that this guy definitely had a group he was in, and every one of these all these points is a guy that he said "fuck you" to when he quit the band.
Yeah, especially the person
I can
who's
find
like
my own transposing guy, my own creative orchestra guy. I can find, and he
I can find my own guy who's ready for each performance from September 9th to October 31st. Kevin.
Right out of that garage, right past the Fight Club poster on the wall, just right out of there,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to do this because I've already done this and I didn't like it then. And, I'm not like good at singing, like the only reason it happens, I was in college and, there was only so many people in this college who could sing, you know, and I did do sing, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Incidentally, my 21st birthday happened during the like run up to this musical, and I got trashed, of course, because it was my 21st birthday. And the next day I came in, I'm not, like, I have friends who they put a bag of wine inside a Dora the Explorer piñata, and they made the nozzle of the wine bag come out of Dora's mouth. And anytime someone wished me happy birthday, I had to kiss Dora the Explorer and drink wine straight. So that's a
little bit of pedophilia on your 21st.
That's how much I barfed, is what I'm saying.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie dipsy. They honestly, they were out of Blue's Clues. That's all it was.
Right.
And but my point is, I sounded like someone had punched me in the throat. And then it just poured lighter fluid down it, and I was and I had to practice singing songs. She was very mad. The person was, and I honestly to this day stand by every decision minus the Dora the Explorer specific choice. Would have chosen a llama, just anything other than a child,
right?
But again, I wasn't in charge.
Then maybe you shouldn't have chose like singing those like Rage Against the Machine songs.
Oh my God!
Or whatever.
Yes. Some of those the workforces are the same to burn crosses. You know.
That's so. My 21st birthday, my parents took me out to Red Lobster, and they got drunk, and I had to drive them home.
Oh no!
It was like the reverse of like what it should have been. They're like, "You had like my dad like slurring his words, like you have a good time." I was like, "Yeah."
You do really like Red Lobster.
I do like Red Lobster. I don't like driving my drunk parents home from Red Lobster on my 21st birthday.
Yeah. Fair.
Brutal, man.
What about you, Colin? How are you feeling about this job?
I picked it because I thought, the arts. And now that I'm looking at all 5 of these things, I'm like, I can't do any 5 of these things. And the person who thinks that somebody else can do all 5 of these things, I resent that person already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just don't think it's the right match for me.
Yeah. What an elegant turning down of this person's almost borderline manic post. But thank you, Colin, for bringing respect back to this podcast. Okay. So we're going to say, fuck that place. Post number 2, in need of a sparring partner.
Oh, it's a Nanuet.
It's a Nanuet. Everybody
what's
knows.
Nanuet like?
Well, I played them in high school football, and I'm pretty sure they beat the shit out of us.
Okay.
So
could be a lot of sparring partners in Nanuet.
Yeah, probably played high school football against
a lot of big boys.
And they're like, you're back to get your ass kicked again for $40 a day.
Here we go again. Yes. So the post reads, willing to pay $40 a day, 2 hours. I assume that's a session for a boxing sparring partner. We can meet in the grass of a park somewhere. We can meet in the grass of a park somewhere. And then the post concludes with, please only come if you're fit and mentally tough.
Because I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Because I am going to hurt you so bad. You are going to have your face in this grass. And there's going to be dog shit in there because this is a park. And dogs shit in parks. So, please only come if you're fit and mentally tough and love putting your face in dog shit.
And know of at least one park with grass in it.
With grass.
Yeah.
Which, in Nanuet, let's call it 6 months out of the year is kind of out of the question. I mean, I guess maybe snow isn't covering the ground all the time.
Is there enough uncovered grass to fist fight someone on it to like box
you need a patch, I guess.
I feel like you'd slip.
Yeah, you can find some grass.
Okay, but it would still be wet. Well, I don't know. I'm not doing it either way. I don't know why I'm like getting the details out, but
if you were, I was going to say yes if you were able to find a dry patch of grass.
I would like to. What bothers me is I don't like this mentally tough thing. Like, I don't know if there's going to be like some heavy yo mama jokes coming at me after he beats me up, or I don't know what the mental part of this is that I have to get over.
Yeah, for sure. The guy's going to make fun of your Twitch stream.
And it's just like, you're paying me $40 to fight me. There's something with you, guy. There's something going on with you.
Because $40 does seem like, I mean, does it depending
Well,
on the
Chase, let me ask
frequency,
you, like,
that's kind of a
how
lot.
much?
It's
How much you willing to pay for someone to fight you?
$0.
Like, how about $0? Like, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
who
you're
does he
right.
expect to show up to this? Like, what kind of person is like $40? I'm in. I'll be there
I mean,
to
it's
fight a stranger in the park.
2 hours. That's $20 an hour. You know,
But
my
it is-
question
How
is,
long? Who can fight for 2 hours? Who can fist fight for 2 hours?
That's a great question.
that's
'cause-
true. That is a long time to fight. Are
To
we getting
fight.
breaks? Is there like a snack break at any point? Because my
Uh-huh.
blood
Yeah.
sugar is almost certainly going to get low.
Oh,
watched-
definitely.
I watched the UFC fights last night. The championship fights are 25 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes round. This is 2 hours of boxing someone.
Uh-huh.
It was
So-
it's fine.
So not good. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound like a good realistic amount of time.
But I'm gonna say for me, it's a no. Like I like to spar. It's super scary, but it's
Mhm.
fun. It's great exercise, and you feel good afterwards. But like,
But you
This
want to
fe-
do it with someone you like know and respect.
and who like respects the 3 rounds, like 3-minute round policy, not just
Not the
vaguely
2 hour.
thrown out 2 hours of sparring.
Yeah,
it
you
feels like
just-
he's gonna be chasing me around
say
and trying to
you're
hit
spending
me.
2 hours just sprinting through a park hiding behind trees.
Like, dude, I'm done. He's like, clock's still ticking.
So I got you for another 25 minutes, Aragon.
I got $40 in my pocket that says we are still going. And he's gonna be weird. He's gonna try and like Zell you or something,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say no because I'm not a boxing sparring partner of any kind.
Mhm.
So no, I don't. I'm afraid of this person. From the very beginning. So none of the details have changed things for me.
What you call?
So my only question is, if it goes over the 2 hours, do I get time and a half?
Ooh, that seems like this person could be negotiable in that realm. I mean, again, you're at hour, you're 1 hour and 58 minutes. You are covered in dog shit on the ground. I mean, bleeding
Crying a
from
little bit.
yeah, bleeding in at least 3 places, crying a little bit, and you're like, if I can push this just past the 2 hour mark, every quarter hour I get time and a half.
Yeah.
So maybe you can do it.
You know what? I feel like there's better ways to make money out there.
Mhm.
I can maybe I can figure out what an NFT is or something and not
Yeah, or you could do part-time horse farm night watch, because you said earlier you'd rather get punched in the face, and I think you could maybe arrange for that.
Yeah.
And I think that now we know that you could get punched in the face. It's like, well, actually, maybe we want to watch horses or like hunt them or something.
It would be terrible if I picked the horse night watch and I end up getting punched in the face.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That guy was
to be
here.
fair, you can get punched by horses, by their legs, and that's a very bad punch.
That's like arguably the worst.
Yeah.
I can't think of a punch that's worse than a horse hoof.
Right. I feel like you can't go pee anymore after the horse kicks you.
That's possible. Yeah.
No, that's science. I
Or you
read about
can't,
that.
or brain damage,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
CTE straight from the horses. Okay, well, in general, I guess we'll just say fuck this place. Heyo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, did you know that you can text this podcast? The number is 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We take your side, by the way. That's an automatic position. If you text us, we're on your side.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about your boss. You think I'm going to protect that guy? I hate that guy. I hate that guy. I got your back. We got your back here.
Absolutely. If we're this is like a weirdo, like sleazy lawyer commercial. I mean, we're on your side to a point,
I'm wearing a goofy suit right now.
I'm wearing a brown tie. Couldn't tell you why. If you need to talk shit about something, like we're your shit talking team. All you gotta do is text 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We're on your side.
Colin, what is the first job you ever had?
Oh man. I think I want to say there was one that I worked. Oh, it would either be construction or it was kind of around the same time. So I kind of worked them like interchangeably, depending on the season. They were both seasonal. Construction for my dad. And then I also worked as a smoothie vendor in Saratoga at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center.
Wow, that's two different worlds.
Very different.
Very
Very, very
different. Yeah.
smoothies and pouring concrete.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, both of have the same consistency at a certain point.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's the smoothie of the industrial world. So
Yeah, you're just throwing wheatgrass into the sidewalk that you're throwing down. You're
like,
like,
I was like, what are you doing? You're ruining the slab.
the slab.
Oh man.
So you got them both around the same time? Like, I assume your dad was like, come on. So like, how did your dad rope you into it? I assume that he announced one.
Is
day.
your dad Macho Man Randy Savage?
Kind of. He is actually, yeah. Yeah, that's my dad. He also did concrete in conjunction with his wrestling career.
Okay.
No.
Well, you gotta have a hobby.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, he was basically like, I smell my uncle dropped me off on the job site when I was 12 and just left me there. And I learned how to lay bricks. So that's what you're gonna do. And that's like, all right, I guess I don't really have a choice in the matter. And so I think I was maybe 13 or 14 when I started working for him on and off. And around the same time, 14-ish for the smoothies. So I think it was about around the same time. And I would work for them on and off. The smoothie thing was only like, we did like certain concerts when they were
Right, because
running
it's a
over the
Performing Arts
summer.
Center. It's not like it's got like every day after school. They're like, come on down to the Performing Arts Center where we have smoothies and that's it, because we don't have a show for another month.
That's it. It's just me. They're like, I'm here, I'm ready.
I'm
Triple berry.
a little wow that they had smoothies at a Performing Arts Center though.
Yeah,
it's a loud kind of drink.
It's a loud drink. And also like my experience in performing arts centers or theater world, the concessions are pretty basic because they're not. It's not like a movie where they're like, "You want a hot dog with nacho cheese on it? We don't give a fuck. Go watch Avatar." Like performing arts centers are like, "Well, would you like some gluten-free pretzels and a diet Shasta?" Like that's all. We have kettle chips. Yeah. That's the greasiest thing they have.
This was like an outdoor concert venue. Yeah, so this was like, it was actually kind of cool. Like it was fun. Like over the summer, you go up like a few weekends out of the summer, 3-4 weekends for like a long weekend, and I'd get to see like Dave Matthews Band or Tom Petty. And
this is like a little lot, like a smaller amphitheater or something.
Exactly.
Fuck. Okay, got it.
It was cool.
I was expecting like at best like a Doobie Brothers cover band, sort of like just a boomers only situation. They probably did come through as well, but the memorable stuff was more legitimate acts, shall we say?
Yeah.
So you got to like, how close are you to the stage? Like, could you like, did you feel like you were a part of it? Because like I got to serve drinks one time at like an Outkast concert, but it was super outside.
Oh man,
like it was like I could walk in, I could like, it was like one of those. Like it's like a football stadium or something where like all the vendors are really and truly like on the outside, on like the outside ring. So you were close enough to like hear what was going on.
Yeah. So SPAC was like, there's the amphitheater. And then there's like a little hill. And then there was, which is where everybody kind of like, did drugs and listened to the concert.
Make out hill.
Oh, baby.
Make out and drug hill. That's what they called it. There was actually a sign. And then there was a road at the top of the hill where like people would like, who worked there would like, And then like right on the other side of the road is where our little station was. And then like down the road a little bit, not too far, there was like a big circular section where there was like all the food,
So you could like kind of see the stage. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
High. Yeah.
No, I mean, not super well because there was always people in front, but I mean,
people ordering smoothies, for instance.
Yeah. And you could, those fucking customers, I was getting in my way for the show.
I am trying to watch this guy play Crash, please. Into me.
Those concerts were so much fun though. Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, you were like a teen too, right? So it's like, it feels kind of good to like be. I feel like at least half of being a teenager is just being like, God, I want to be in my house, Yeah. I don't want to see my parents. I don't want to fucking see anybody but people that are cool, and sort of like, just be out and be doing something probably feels like good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it was like the first time I had really been around a lot of marijuana use.
Mhm.
So that was an eye-opening experience.
Uh-huh.
I saw one of the biggest, to this day, one of the biggest blunts I've ever seen in my life.
Word.
And I don't even understand. I might have actually been a cigar now that I'm thinking of it.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Nah, it
keep
was
going.
weed. It was weed. It was for sure weed. But it was cool. That was a fun experience. The concrete thing,
A little less fun.
Mhm.
less enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
There were no smoothies present. I got to every once in a while I'd make myself a smoothie.
Uh-huh.
No smoothies.
Yeah.
No
being constructed.
smoothies, no
Yeah,
guitar
fair.
solos, nothing.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
it's like far less like weed smokers and far more people calling you gay. They're like, you know?
And
Just
it'd
for
be
not
like,
picking
Dad,
stuff up.
you're like, Dad, why do you keep calling me that? I'm like,
Ants marching. How about you march your ass back to work?
Burr, burr, burr.
So like if I'm getting this right, like so it's like you got the smoothie job and that was like a gig you had, but it sounds like your dad was like, hey, we need an extra set of hands on these days, and he would pull you. Is that how it worked?
yeah, because when at that age, I mean, I eventually, when I got older, worked for them full time. But when I was at that age, it was kind of just like a part-time summer thing, and it was like, you're gonna learn how to work.
Uh-huh. It
You're
was
gonna
just
learn
it was
about
like
working.
a life lesson. Is like what he was after.
Yeah,
Got
but
it.
I mean, a good one though. I mean, good
No,
in
for
the sense
sure.
that, like, yeah,
In the
it,
sense
you
that
know,
work
got
is
me
hate
off
and
my
I hate
ass.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your dad was like,
and that's
you
the
think
lesson.
you think you're ever going to be the Intercontinental Champion if you don't know how to work? All right, Dad.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let's see your elbow drop, son.
So
Good.
these are all, I assume, catchphrases of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
I have watched almost no wrestling, but I'm inferring pretty hard. Although the last one I think was Hogan.
Now you're right.
Okay, great.
That's my bad.
Well,
It's funny
So
that
what was
you
your
don't know like anything about wrestling, but also that you were like slanging drinks at the Outcast concert. It's just it's just like, who is Chase McNeil?
I've dabbled. I've dabbled in a lot. I've dabbled in mounting musicals.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in kissing cartoon children, and some of it's not gone well for me. Especially
counselor, hip hop enthusiast.
I'll to be fair, I didn't know Outcast was at the time.
Oh, really?
I mean, I knew that they had at the time they had I think that the fucking that Rosa Parks song or whatever the I do remember walking in for that song.
That's funny.
You know,
so you get there and you're like, these guys are actually pretty good. They should keep doing this. They got a future.
I think these young fellas have got a shot in this industry. They filled this amphitheater.
And here is your Modelo, sir. And here is your Modelo.
Oh, you know, what's also crazy is I was under 18 at the time. So like you couldn't even in North Carolina, if you're under 18, you can't even touch alcohol. So it was a fundraiser for, I gotta stop these stories. It was a fundraiser for a youth ministry thing.
Oh, dude, no, please keep these stories coming.
Yeah.
and so the only people that could hold a beer was like my youth pastor.
Oh man.
And we were just like, we're just handing out like Modelo's and stuff. But again, like I'm just handing out popcorn, and we got like a percentage of the sales of the like we volunteered at this concert, which is crazy. It's crazy. These people are making money hand over the fucking fist. We volunteered at this concert, and we got a percentage of the, of the sales of that one fucking booth. And there were other people there that weren't with us. They were just like people. I think they were volunteering for like free tickets or something. So they got to like, it doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, I couldn't hand anybody a beer. And it was just like, do you want popcorn or nothing? That's all I can help you with.
Like, no, I want a beer. Can I have a beer?
1,000% want a beer. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm at this concession stand.
Well, just let me know if you need help, like with some folding chairs or.
Yeah, this is an Outcast concert. I want so much beer, if you don't mind. Like the only concert where people will want more beer is maybe like a country concert, you know what I mean, like a Keith,
right? Yeah,
Toby Keith or some shit like that.
Yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish came into mind.
Oh hell!
Oh man, what was that like?
That's a beer heavy concert.
Oh man!
Wait, did I do Hootie and the Blowfish? I don't know, man.
Did you
It's
just
all a
feel
blur.
like you
I
were
know I
there?
did fish. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fish has got to be a
yeah.
heavy beer crowd because they are coming down off the whippets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and coming
dude.
down off like literally
Getting out
everything.
of their smelly cars, their smelly Ford Escorts or whatever it is.
I have never ever gotten into the fish thing. I
don't get it at
neither.
all.
Thank God.
Everybody had like those macrame like quilt pants. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen them?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from a hippie town, so yes.
Yeah. You get it.
It's a heavy Birkenstock crowd, and the people that are into it are so fucking into it, and it's just like shut the.
It's like a
fuck
religion to them. Like they're
Yeah.
fucking
Shut
into
up.
it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
What you think about Dave?
So good.
So
They had like the band is like 40 people deep.
it's a good
Right,
show.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
it's gonna be a
Dude.
good show. Under the Table and Dreaming. How about you pour that fucking concrete, kiddo?
Yeah.
How about on top of the roof and stapling tiles?
How about on top of the roof and get your ass in gear?
I do before we move on. What were your responsibilities? Because it was mostly a life lesson at the construction thing. I assume that you started and like you're a literal child with almost no skills. So what were you doing? Just shoveling shit or moving wheelbarrows or what?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, I was a laborer, so I was digging holes.
Yeah.
I was taking the stuff from the holes, putting them in wheelbarrows, and then moving that to another place where I would dump it, and then doing that repeatedly.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy how valuable that job is, though? Like they need people to do that, or else the rest of the stuff doesn't happen.
You do a job like that. You do a job like that. You understand like how human beings built like castles. How they, like there's just a job where you pick up the heaviest thing you can find and take it somewhere else. That's very inconvenient for you.
Dude, I can't get that out of my head now, though. Like, have you guys seen that movie, The Last Duel?
No.
It's like the new Ben Affleck.
It's on HBO Max. I am waiting to watch it. Yes.
You gotta watch it. I think it's prequel to Good Will Hunting, but
great. At the end of it, he gets real good at math.
Yeah.
It's like,
fuck this. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not fighting in your war.
But so like,
I'm not fighting your war.
It takes place in the medieval times, obviously, and
ye olden times.
Ye olden times. But like, Nick, to what you were saying, now I'm like, I can't stop focusing on like when I see a cast or anything, I'm like, oh my God, that must have taken them forever.
Hands.
How many people did they get to do that?
Yeah.
Like same thing with
a lot of people that
Macbeth.
were not paid well or treated well is the answer. Especially not treated well. Yeah.
They were not
they had
getting
literally no
minimum
other option in some societies, literally no other option. And in other societies, they barely had another option. It's like, well, I could indenture myself to a blacksmith for most of my life and maybe I'll learn that skill, or I could carry these rocks.
Yeah. God, that would suck. That would be the worst.
That's most of our existence. You know what I mean? Like we're so fucking we're having a great time on this podcast. I haven't had to pick up anything.
Right. Right.
Nothing.
Not one of us got scurvy since we started this podcast.
Not one.
No. Something sounds like weird, like I didn't lose my hand to the cold, like something.
John, what happened to your hand, dude? You had it yesterday.
The cold.
The fucking cold, man.
It's such a short sentence, but it's a life sentence, really.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever read? There was this book I remember as a kid. It was about, and I vividly remember this book. It was about this kid who lived in colonial times, and he was a blacksmith apprentice, and the it's like a short book or whatever. But the crux of the book is that he pours molten shit onto his hand and just fucking ruins it, and his whole life is ruined basically. And I was like, I'm in 5th grade, and I was like, listen, we just finished A Wrinkle in Time, and there was a lot going on in that, but this seems super fucked up. But it's also the truth. Like he wasn't like destitute, but he was just like this like hobbled guy with this his hand just ended in like a burnt twig basically.
And they don't have much back then to repurpose that.
Right.
It's like once that happens, it's like, well, you don't have hands anymore.
And unless you're rich, you can't even get like a fake hand,
Right.
Yeah. Turn this into a wooden spoon if you want. About it.
You're the ladle guy from now on.
And it's a pretty small ladle.
We got to press forward, but I do.
We do.
What I do real quick. I want to call. What was the? Let's say at the construction job. What's the What's the general hang like? What's it
Mhm.
like being around those guys? Are there other children working, or is it just you and your dad's like old like beer belly bearded friends?
No, I worked with all Ecuadorian guys.
Oh, okay.
Word.
So
There you
Uh-huh.
go.
I
Yeah.
basically I'd follow them around. I'd try to mimic whatever they would do, and then eventually they'd give me a task to go fuck
Mhm.
off with for a little while. I
Nice.
would do that, and then I'd be like, is this good?" And then Carlos would go, "It's good for now." And then I'd wait until they told me the next thing.
Yeah.
And so I was just hanging with them, like trying to learn Spanish, and
Mhm.
those are my buddies pretty much. And then,
Mhm.
like as years went on, like when I got like 15 to 17,
Yeah, the years going on after
yeah,
13. Yeah.
right. I got my cousin to come work with me, and then that was the hang. Like he and I would
Oh,
work on
nice.
the job. Yeah,
Mhm.
we would be the laborers together,
Mhm.
and they would kind of give us like the manual labor shit
Mhm.
to do,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's about it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Nice, nice,
And
nice,
I would
nice.
imagine those equatorial, oh my God, those
Mhm.
dudes were pretty psyched to give you work because I know you're kind of here as like on tour, like this guy's not
Yeah,
sticking around, so we can just fucking load him up. Like, here you
Mhm.
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
Here you go,
yeah.
buddy. We're gonna get another one of you in a couple years. I don't know if you have any siblings, but we're gonna get another one eventually. So here you are. Here's a pile.
And then I ended up sticking around until I was 29. So
Oh hell yeah!
Oh man.
Long tour. He signed up again. He re-enlisted.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I took breaks, but
Sure.
I always
Right,
came
right,
back.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Colin. So that was your first two jobs. What would you say though is the worst job you've ever had?
Ooh, just I hated the most.
Well, however that lands on you. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I would probably say I worked. So when I first moved up to Lake Placid for bobsled, I got a job at working in the deli bakery department at a Hannaford's in Lake Placid. And I think that was the worst.
Okay. Quick question. You
Yeah, here we
said
go, Chase.
I moved up to Lake Placid for bobsled.
Yeah.
Do tell.
So Lake Placid, the Olympic Training Center is
tight.
one of our two. So we have one in Colorado Springs. We used to have three. We used to have one in Chula Vista. We have one in Colorado Springs, Lake Placid, and Lake Placid, New York. And I moved up there to join the U.S. bobsled team, try out and try to make the Olympic team.
Okay. So you moved up there for the bobsled thing, and this is not something that I would think about, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think like, of course, Chase, like because people think about this about artists and comedians all the fucking time. Because I thought, oh well, if you're an Olympic in training for Olympics, that's your job. You don't have another job, right? But like, no, you for sure need another job. Like just like people who are like, oh well, that person's been on one late night TV appearance or they've been on like one sitcom thing. Like, oh, they don't have a job. Like, no, they totally fucking have a job. Even people that have like semi-regular like appearances on television might have like a straight up regular fucking sad ass job.
It's miserable, yeah, soul sucking.
yeah. So you're in. It's a grocery store.
Yeah, it was a Hannaford's
And you're in the deli section of the grocery store.
Yeah, it was the deli. I mean, mostly bakery. They started training me in the deli before I quit, but it sucked, man. It's just so boring, and also like the other thing too was I had to handle these delicious baked goods all day.
Yeah,
and I couldn't eat any of them
because you're an Olympic hopeful.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, have you made it yet? No. Well, you don't get to try the strudel, bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would sneak like because I had to put all the stuff in the oven. I had to like cook all the stuff, bake all the stuff, whatever. And I would go into the back freezer when nobody was around, and I would just shovel some strudel.
Every food service job that has a freezer it's it's 60% storing food long term, and then it's what do we want to say 30% eating, and then 10% drug use.
Yep.
Right. I think it's those numbers work out.
The numbers will vary from town to town, but that's basically it.
Yeah, town to town, job to job, manager to manager. But that's what the freezer's for. You know,
on average, that checks out.
Yeah. Yeah. I've walked into a cooler and eaten a whole sandwich.
Right.
I have to say this because I worked at a deli. We would we would double glove ourselves, as my friend came up with this. We called it the double glove, if you can believe it. And then it was kind of like a Subway style to make these deli sandwiches. And what we would do is there was a croissant that was a mini croissant that was like the size of your palm. You grab that first, and then whatever other ingredients you want, all in the same hand. Then you undo that glove. So now you've got all the ingredients of the sandwich encased in a reverse glove. And you go into the bathroom, pretend you're pooping, or go to whatever, and then you you could also just assemble it there, and then again, just and then take it in.
Oh my gosh!
Diabolical.
Was your coworker Steve Jobs? Because that is genius. That is.
Yeah. No, he for sure. Well, he invented not necessarily the iPhone, but he invented that thing. We know when you scroll and then it keeps scrolling, like it kind of drifts for a little bit. That was an Apple original from him.
Yeah.
He calls it the double glove drift, and we don't know why.
Yeah.
Because he had a bunch of sandwiches with like too many jalapenos on them or whatever while he's making it.
Dude, that's smart.
Yeah. So you also you stuck to this long tried and true lineage of sneaking food. I have a question about the baked goods. I assume they were pretty much just like frozen or refrigerated, and you just like literally put them in the oven. Yeah, it's like you didn't like make a bake. You weren't like folding puff pastry or something.
I wasn't letting the yeast rise or whatever.
There was no proving drawers. Okay. Got it. So then were you alone? You sound alone.
I do sound alone. That's just the general tone of my voice is very alone, very lonely. There was I had one other guy that I worked with. I think it was like, if I remember correctly, there was like kind of like a department supervisor, and then there was a guy in the deli with us, and then there was me. So it was like kind of like quiet. 2 other people roughly. Yeah, it was pretty quiet.
Well, I've never not looked at maybe it is different in like some of the bougie stores like Whole Foods or whatever, but like in a Food Lion or like regular motherfucker grocery store, I've never looked over to the deli and been like, they look busy,
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, they got stuff going on. People are picking up macaroni salad or whatever the fuck it is, but like there's always, for the square footage of the space that workstation takes up, there's always at least one less person, if not 2, because it's just sort of like, it kind of runs itself, I guess. I don't know.
But
not a lot going on there.
I'll say they never look busy, but somehow always look pissed.
Oh yeah, no, because it's a sad place to be hanging out. At least in produce, it's like the world is fresh. You're stocking shit, and people are talking to you, and I'm sure that's annoying too. But the bummer you have, I assume, is it's quiet, and you still have to do customer service.
Well, and I mean, it's a little drab because like, I think with produce, like you're looking at, fresh veggies, there's a lot of color, there's life around you. But with deli,
you're waiting for the thunderstorm to roll in.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Which really is just the misters turning on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, here they come. Got lightning in this one. But in the deli, you're saying.
And you're just staring at, cured meats, and it's kind
stuck there.
But it was my roommate. So when I first got this job, I moved up there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to live in Lake Placid full time. I had started the year before, and I was like, all right, if I really want to be serious about this, I need to live up there and actually, make it work. And so myself and 2 other athletes got an apartment together in town, and it was the cheapest, shittiest apartment we could find in town. I mean, it was not like the kitchen floor was on a hill. It was like we had to spray foam and caulk all the walls because our neighbors would chain smoke, and it made all of we were inhaling the smoke.
Jesus Christ.
It was a bad apartment. Yeah,
America's future athletes.
Let me ask you a quick call. Is that town? Do they know that Olympians are there? Is that part of the culture? Like,
yeah.
If so, like what? Like do you think they'd be nicer to the guys coming?
No, it's apartment living. There's no fucking rules, buddy.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
In any apartment in all of the United States, it's every single unit is its own version of chaos for sure.
Yeah. And this one was a 5-room nut house. It was insane. And so we split it because we were all broke athletes. It was myself and 2 other athletes. We split a 1-bedroom. So we all just like Tetrised our mattresses together on the floor.
Yeah.
And we got up there and we're like, well, we need to figure out how to make rent each month. And granted, it was only $180 a piece, but
right, but still, you needed something.
But we needed something. So myself and my other roommate, Cody, we got jobs working at Hannaford's, and then our other roommate, Kevin, got a job working at an ice cream shop. And
hell yeah, treats.
He got the best, dude. He got the best out of it.
We've talked about it. Ice cream is the best gig. It's the best.
It is 100%. The worst was my roommate's job. He was working in Hannaford's in the butcher section, in the butcher department.
Oh my god, that's so great. So all three of you, let's just imagine you all come home at the same time. And you're like licking your lips from like a little bit of pastry, like there's a little bit of crust still on your lip from some old croissant or something you ate, and you're like, God, it was boring and sad, and then your ice cream friend is coming home smelling real sweet, tired of the customers. They were slammed, but it was like, well, we're around ice cream. It's like what the fuck ever. I can't believe they came. It snowed today. And then your other friend is just coming home covered in blood.
Covered in blood.
And it's like the things I've fucking seen. Do you know what the spine of the inside of a cow looks like? I sawed it in half today.
Had a pig and his eye sunk back in. I had to reach in there and get it.
I had to push it out and make it look like a pug's eye, just poking out real big.
Squish like a grape, and I was crying.
Dude, it looked like he was getting sadder each day he had to work. He would come home with like little, and he'd bring his boots in because you have to wear boots to work in a butcher shop. You can't wear like tennis shoes.
Yeah, giant rubber boots. Like you have to wear like yeah.
And he would bring them into the apartment, and me and my other roommate Kevin, we would look at him and be like, "Dude, is that like guts on your shoes?" Like, well, yeah, I wore them to work there. I'd be like, those are going outside, buddy. You're not bringing.
There's meat flecks on this. If I heated up your boots, we could make a stew, and that's not good.
Yeah, which we did because money was tight, so we had
the old boot stew. Old boot stew.
The Boot Stew Chronicles. So you're just hanging out at the deli, and do you see your butcher friend ever? Do you ever pass by and just be like, "Oh, hey, buddy,
hey, buddy, time to clock in, time to punch it." Like every once in a while, but that's the thing with the grocery store, especially one like Hannaford. Like I think Hannaford is do they have that where you guys were? Hannaford?
I never heard of it.
Sounds like
maybe just an East Coast thing or a Northeast
Mid-Atlantic situation.
Yeah, because they're a pretty big chain in like the tri-state area, and I don't know who owns them, but like major corporate jobs like that, there's no flexibility with wiggles. Like, nothing. Yeah.
They hate that you showed up.
Yeah, and if you go a minute over on your break, we're going to tell you about it.
Dude,
we're going to
give you shit about it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Correct. So I had a corporate situation, not a grocery store, but again, similar like the overlords. And somebody was running a register and they were off by a penny. And they didn't notice it at the time, but apparently a manager came up to them like literally months later. It's like after like the holiday rush. And they were like, "Hey, I have to ask you this. December 14th, your register was over, it was under a penny. I have paperwork to fill out. Do you have any reason why that might be?" And this is like in March. And the person was like, fuck me. What are you talking about? But like, that's the kind of insane conversation you get into.
Right. And that manager was like, "I understand. It's like 1% of a dollar. What would it be like if we cut off 1% of your body? What does that look like?"
Just sounds like a big deal
for me, doesn't it?
What if you're missing?
Kind of rethinking taking that penny now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a little Abraham Lincoln hovering around here. Otherwise, we're going to sever the Lincoln between your toes and your metatarsus.
What is the general? Again, this is like kind of a question I have for you. Again, is like, what is the general culture like at your job? If like they know your coworkers know you're trying to make it to the Olympics, do they give a fuck, or are they cool, or what is it like?
It's kind of like, I mean, it's a similar response, at least like coworkers wise. It's a similar response to stand up in the sense that like you tell someone that you do it and they go, "Oh, cool."
Okay.
End of that.
Right. Yeah.
Get to baking those cookies, bitch. And it's okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it. I mean,
so like just treat it like any outside hobby, anything outside of work. Oh, you're into that. Anyways, back to it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
might be one of the greatest athletes in the world, certainly in the United States. All right. Well,
Yeah.
how do you think? I mean, just like is
Anyways,
other
these donuts ain't gonna
done?
maple themselves, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then so you started in the bakery. You eventually started to move to the deli, and you were like, "Boop, boop, I don't think so."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was it because of the sharp objects you were around more often, or just because it was like, you know what? Did you? I mean, like, how did you leave? I guess, or like, what's the arc here?
So I mean, like I said, it was not a fun place to work. Not really. Like the other thing too is we're training all day, so
Yeah. Mhm.
you're exhausted, and you want to find something that's, you can make your bills, or pay your bills, but it doesn't take too much out of recovery.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I ended up finding a better job. I found a job working at a mini golf course, and
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like it was fun. It was cool.
Casual.
Uh-huh.
That was when I got that job, I was like, all right, things are looking up here. Things are looking up.
Yeah. Little Tommy just made a hole in one on the 18th hole, and I might make it to the Olympics. So either way, things are going good.
Yeah, they had this giant trampoline thing that it wasn't. It was kind of like you had to like hook all of these. In retrospect, I don't know if it was safe, but you had to like hook all of these massive bungee cords up to like a harness around their waist.
Oh yeah,
And basically
I've
just
seen
slingshot them
Yeah,
up
it's like
and
they have those
down.
in
On the
malls.
and yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they do like flips or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
So
there's no way it's safe, like wholly safe, but we do know that they exist, and they're probably low level of lawsuits involving them. Surprisingly low is my guess, considering how god awful they look.
That's got to be part of the pitch when they go to sell that product to a business, that they go, hey, look, we understand you have your questions, but the data's in and you guys will be fine.
The data's here. We've only lost teeth, pretty much just teeth, and everybody can lose some teeth, little dental work. It's no big deal.
Doesn't hold up in court.
So you had to run that as well as the mini golf?
I had to run that, the food truck, and then the cash register as well. It was like a small operation. We were right across the street. Have you guys ever been to a Pirates Cove? Do you know what Pirates Cove is?
I've been to a Pirates Cove.
Yeah,
Myrtle Beach, Pirates Cove. Yeah, I've been to Pirates Cove. My little sister did in fact get a hole in one. She got a free thing. She's the only lucky person I've ever met. Like she just like she wins raffles. Anyway.
We had a golf land, which sounds so much lamer than Pirates Cove. As far as it's such a lazier name.
Oh no! I've been to some bad ones. Golf land is like, it sounds like, honestly, like something for old people. It sounds like
it's
a Dick's Sporting Goods.
I love my favorite place, Golf Place.
You guys have any snacks here? It's not called Snackland, okay? It's called
Golf land.
What
do you like to go to? I like to go to the putting location. That's where I prefer to go for fun. So you had to run every station at this thing, and you were still like, this is better than the deli section.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there were other people that I worked with, and the other people that I worked with, one of them was actually a luge athlete. So he was a friend of mine, and like it was just a much more laid back, fun environment. And it was just like I got to be outside a little bit more rather than like behind,
grocery store
cheese
is very
and
specific.
ham.
Yeah, it's a very specific indoor smell.
Yeah.
Especially like a regular grocery store. Bougie ones have their own little sort of wheatgrass aroma, but like a regular grocery store sort of smells like like linoleum cleaner.
Yeah,
and I don't know, like bread. Like
white it's bread. Never a good sign when you know what the floor smells like of a place.
Well, it's clean. Bad.
Yeah, it's clean. And the other thing too with grocery stores is that they play the same music over and over and over again, which should be illegal. That should be you shouldn't be able to do that in any establishment because the people that work there eventually they are going to go insane.
Yeah,
I don't know the numbers on it.
So you should either have to change the music or put a real clock in here. I need something
One
to
of
help
the two.
something to base me to humanity again.
I need to tether myself to reality. I need a hook. I'm an astronaut. I need that tether, or else it's just any
floating
ways
out
up,
there.
any ways down.
It's like a casino. You know, they don't want
Yeah.
you to know that there's a whole world out there. They just want you to
The
get
world's
to
They
bacon
want-
those
They
fruit.
want you to get stuck on the Big Bang Theory themed
Uh-huh.
slot machine.
Oh,
They're
new
like-
kind of peanuts here. Don't you want to stay here forever? You know, it's like the party in The Shining. Like no one ever
Yeah.
really leaves. You know.
The manager comes up to me. They're like, "Hey, what's going on?" You're like, "Oh, like I don't know. It's just kind of I'm getting drained working here. There's like a whole world out there that I'm not getting to see." They're like, "Well, have you seen the new display on aisle 4? Huh? Cookies. We got famous Amos. Huh?
Amos cookies. Well, Colin, we always ask 3 questions to kind of wrap things up and like make sure we kind of covered everything. And we're kind of dancing around number 1, which is for the worst job. When were you done and how did you quit? So you found the other job. How were you actively looking for it? Like, how did you actually get out of there?
Yeah. So I mean,
or did you run into this loser, just like illusion down the street? And he was like, "I work with this golf place."
You just shouted as he
and
was
it's got a
going
way
by.
better name.
Mini golf.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good idea, man.
I'll follow this guy. Illusion at 90 miles an hour.
No, so we had so started off me and my 2 roommates, also bobsledders in this apartment. Then another bobsledder was like, "Hey, I'm coming to train for a little bit in town. Can I stay with you guys?" So now we got 4 bobsledders in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Oh man.
And he had gone with somebody else to this mini golf place. And
for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah. And they already had that luge athlete working there. So there was like, you know, we all know each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, we're looking for employees." They come back and tell us. I'm like, "All right, I'm putting in my 2 weeks tomorrow."
Right now.
Right.
I call them. I'm like, "I gotta go." And then
so
I applied there, and
you put
got
in your
the
2.
job.
That was nice of you to put in the 2 weeks, you know, but you put in the 2 weeks before you put the application in. Is that correct?
Yes, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because I was
I'm
getting well, and I also had, from speaking with them, they were like, "Yeah, well, like it was pretty certain. It was like a little mom and pop." Yeah. I knew I had beyond a reasonable doubt that I was.
You know, this guy knows that you're not an idiot. You know, like this other person, whether you're friends or not. Like this person knows you're a whole person who shows up to time on time for things. So you're probably going to be fine. Just out of curiosity, what happened to your butcher friend? Did he stay at the butcher shop?
Oh my God!
It seems like he would really want to get out of there, but you jumped on a mini golf situation that maybe he could have used. You know, but I like the idea of him like turning it down, like, "Oh no, me and I'm grinding horse hooves." You know, it's a good time.
He's like, "I've actually grown to love it. I actually kind of, you know, it's
this is my passion now."
I could never.
He's all missing like pieces of his ear. Like it's like something's going on here.
You see it in the package of tenderloin. You're like, "What is that mysterious piece of cartilage?"
We ran out of tongue. So what did happen to this person?
He stayed on for a little bit. I don't remember how long. I think he left. Like kind of what the thing was. Yeah, with athletes, it was like we would have these jobs for the summer, for the off season, and then once the season started up and we started traveling for races, we wouldn't be able to work these jobs. So we would come back in like April or May when the off season started up.
Got it. So you work for the summer, basically save up for that 180 a month to get covered while you were gone.
Yep.
Which is not a catastrophic amount of money. So yeah, a grocery store could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'd work and then we'd leave in October and then we'd be back either working that job or another job in like April, May, all spring, summer.
So yeah, probably the butchering thing ended and he came back and was like, "I'll do anything. I'll do anything else." It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He didn't go back to it. I know that much. It wasn't like next year. He was like, "Guys, I'm back.
Please. Let me drink the blood again.
Let me just touch the tri-tips, please."
I want to feel they're tender enough. Father John's going to come in for the Catholic cookout. Question number 2. What would you say is one good thing you took from that bad job?
From the Hannaford job, what was the one good thing? It was a raspberry strudel. I still have it with me. I carry it with me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
You dipped it in resin.
Got it.
So it's like one of those mosquitoes in Jurassic Park and like the
No, I think it's probably just like that experience of working for like a major corporation and like having that frame of reference of like, oh, this is not fun. This
Uh-huh.
isn't enjoyable. You have to do this like awkward training experience and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I think it's just having the experience and knowing how low the bar can go.
For sure.
Right.
Because I mean, like, you know, an easy like not transition, but like an easy parallel is like, okay, well, I could work this minimum wage piece of shit fucking job in this, you know, deli/bakery that's corporate, or I could work a minimum wage piece of shit fucking job at a deli/bakery that is like a small business, and it's going to have its own problems for sure as a small business, but it'll at least be slightly more entertaining. Like,
Exactly.
and there may be more wiggle room over time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And I feel like it's more enjoyable to, I don't know, be a part of like a small business than,
Or a small team of people that are at least maybe care or care enough to be like, I just want the day to go well. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to get through to
here. Yeah.
Exactly.
I want my day to go well. And as a result, you're in it. So let's try and work on this together. Yeah. Okay. So question number 3, not related to that bad job, is like a general check-in, like how you doing? You know, we're elbow deep. Some could even say knee deep in a pandemic that has, it continues and will continue. How you been? How you doing?
I'm, I wouldn't say thriving, but I'm hanging in there. I'm getting through it. Yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough in the sense that when everything shut down, I don't know if it was luck. My dad was sick, so I had to go back to New York to help him run the business for a while.
Well,
so I at least had something.
To do a certain thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm grateful for it because a lot of people didn't have any job or anything to do, and it was also good that I was helping out, my family.
Yeah,
so
like
I'm lucky enough.
Yeah, and your focus was like genuinely helpful, which is not, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, during it, it was tough doing it, but it was good, and it also helped pass the time too. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
But now, I was like, you did it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get back to LA, and we're gonna put all this COVID nonsense behind us. That was a weird time we had, right?
Tough road, right? Okay, well,
tough
here
road.
We go.
And 47 variants later, I'm like, oh
shit. Yeah.
Same road.
And the customers are still giving you the same face they were giving you 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, I don't know why whatever you're doing is taking so long.
Right. Yeah. But now all it's just here up.
It's just the eyebrows and the forehead. Yeah.
It's surprising though how much you can tell from somebody what they're feeling just here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that we've like evolved like dogs in a short amount of time, because I feel like in the beginning of it, I felt like every joke I'd see on TikTok or whatever would be like them talking about how nobody can tell what I'm thinking because I wear my mask now. But now it's like everyone I know knows what the fuck you're like. We've gotten better at reading just the eyes, and we've probably gotten better at expressing through just our eyes. Well,
the end is a very expressive part of the face. I was watching some Discovery Channel thing a long fucking time ago, but I think it was about how they busted some like casino cheaters or whatever, and like the FBI developed facial profiling just based off of essentially what you might call like the raccoon space, like where the space where the Ninja Turtles mask would go, right? Because the people were changing their faces, beards and fake noses or whatever, but like this space, that raccoon space is completely unchangeable. Like there's just nothing you can do to it with prosthetics. Really, maybe you can make a giant fucking forehead, like those Geico cavemen or whatever. But like that's pretty much it. There's not much so it is very unique to whoever you are. That like specific like zone.
It was nice though when like in the beginning, like Nick, what you were talking about, when people couldn't really, when we were still getting used to reading other people.
Yeah.
You could just kind of like I could hand food off at somebody's table and then mumble under my breath like, "Oh, you fucking piece of shit." And they had no idea. But now I drop food off and they see me coming and they're like,
"What's with the attitude, pal?" I ordered a Vietnamese coffee. What's the fucking deal with you? Okay, I don't like the look you're giving me. You're setting it down wrong. Yeah.
I miss what in the beginning of the pandemic when everyone was afraid. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like people were they were in a panic and we had no toilet paper. Also, no eggs. I don't know if that happened to you guys. Every time I went to the grocery store in the beginning of the pandemic, no eggs. But they were just generally like just get home safe, okay? And now they're just back to
Yeah.
like, well, fuck you, just as soon as they see, but it's through like a mumbled mask or whatever. Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, they're trying to open the door on your face.
yeah. I miss when they had a little terror in their hearts. A little fear of God is good for you.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
brought us all together.
Right.
We need
right.
Let's get let's make America afraid again.
Yeah.
I don't know if we really. Someone's going to take that one to heart a little too much.
The acronym
and
just spells "ma."
make America afraid again. Well, that's great to hear, Colin. That you're doing so good.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, for sure. We're making it through. Well, Colin, where can people? Thank you for joining us. Where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Thanks for having me, guys. Best place to find me, really the only place,
Mhm.
is Craigslist. No,
Craigslist
Instagram.
on Horsewatch.
Yeah, I'm the night horse watch guy now. I'm running all their ads from here on out. Instagram at Colin Coughlin, and that's really bad. I'm not really active on Twitter or anything.
Yeah, no, it blows. Twitter sucks. That's great. Well, make sure to put that link in the show notes. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I'll be honest, I was in a super bad mood when the podcast started, and I'm in a significantly better mood now. So thank you, Colin, for joining us.
This was
thank you for pressing through that tough day at work to get over here to do it too. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun.
And also, fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. It's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this.